I will spend the next few minutes convincing you that it worth exploring other worlds. But let's start from an alignment question. What do we call another world? I could say it is a place or a state in mind where we don't feel comfortable. It's a place where we don't feel that we belong. What if I say I can fly? Yes, you all agree with me, we are not birds, and the sky is a place with most of us will feel uncomfortable. And that is because we are not, our bodies are not designed to be there. Do you all agree? I hope so, otherwise I have to change my talk and go home. So I was living in a small village in the center of France called Romorantin. The life there was very calm. The place was surrounded by lakes, forests, wild pigs, and night castles. The place really calm, but something happened almost every morning. I can see them and hear them. There was 3 small and noisy engines flying above our heads, over and over. I started being attracted with the idea of a mix of curiosity. What they feel this particular pilot? What goes through the mind of them? Why do they do this risky activity? Is it a risky activity or is just our perception? One day, I remembered it perfectly. It was a Saturday, around beginning of September, noontime, and I got lost on my way driving to the recycle point, when by chance I passed through the hangars where these machines were parked. Without thinking twice, I entered into this place. And then there was a man, a tall guy, around 60 years old, not very talkative, but he transmitted serenity. So he took the time to explain me in detail how the different activities you can do, how the membership works, and everything about the Aero Club. So a few days later, I called him and I agreed in a trial flight with an instructor. So the day of the trial was far from exciting. So I chose one kind of glider with long wings and without a motor. You know, I spent a lot of time researching on the internet which one was the safer one. So that day, the plane started moving around and around, over and over, and then up and down making circles. So I did that particular day, the sun was very strong, and I started being feel very hot inside. So at some point I felt like a lobster cooking in a boiling water. So it was really unbearable. So I start being dizzy. I really feel dizzy. I just now remember I still feel dizzy. So the only thought at that time was just landing. I want to land. So a few days later, I decided to start lesson in the Aero Club. And you could say, why? Basically, I admire the way this person controlled his emotion, the way his person controlled the plane. So it was, and also how he communicated with the center tower and with his college, with absolutely new world for me, full of new codes to learn. I did wonder if I could be one day this man. So the classes started and also the lessons with the instructor. So every day I remember going to the Aero Club, driving, I felt a mix of excitement and fear. Yes, fear. Sometimes I was terrified. I tell him to myself, come on, you have a daughter and a baby on the way, a lovely wife, full of projects in your mind. What are you doing? You can't kill yourself. And why? Just for a challenge. But once I sat at the cockpit with my commanding the aircraft with my instructor, suddenly everything changes into my brain. I was telling, I said, look, Miguel, you are so stupid to be here. But now there is no way out. Just be focused, control yourself. And this is the moment that I forgot about the rest of the world. Just for me are the indicators on board, the influences outside, the navigation map, that is all it counts, nothing else. So, and then once in the air, take off, some turbulence in the beginning, then in the air, the plane stabilizes, and then magic. Wow, crazy. This is the sun going through the clouds, making a lot of very nice design, and the lights, I felt alive. So, day after day, I was improving day after day. It was not a linear improvement, but with high and downs. Sometimes I felt I'm making a lot of progress and learn a lot, but the other day I make a lot of stupid mistakes. At that time, when I was not flying, I was thinking of flying, so I was hooked. I was learning a lot about myself. This is important. Just not the things we can read in the book, but the things with the practice. What are my strengths and my weaknesses? So, okay, strength, let's see, I'm an engineer, I study physics, I know about fluid mechanics, so this is not something I was afraid of. I think I could make it. But what about my weaknesses? So that, what I am going to say might surprise you. First is my sense of direction. Because I have a very bad sense of direction. I am the typical guy, go to a place, a city, new city, turn one turn left, right, wow, in a crossroad. I'm completely lost. And you know, that up in the sky, this is a big issue. The second is the radio. Look, every communication happens in French. So I'm Spanish, and also the place is really noisy. No, I'm not deaf, because I passed the medical exam to go to the school. But I always have had difficulties to follow the conversation when we are in a noisy place. What else? The thing is, I don't like turn and turn. I remember when I was a kid, I enjoy a lot being in an amusement park, but not anymore. Wow, so I will not follow, because otherwise no flying school will allow me to follow ever again. Could I do something to overcome these handicaps? Yes, I can do. For each of the limitations, you need to find out the tool, the way to overcome them. For instance, you say the sense of direction. I can study well the navigation map and learn by heart the reference in the maps before going to the front. The second is for the radio. I listen a lot, again and again, radio and messages. So I get use of this vocabulary. So every time you can find a way to overcome these difficulties. But as you can recall, you know, I say I was always with the instructor. So that is fine. It's like being a tightrope, but with a net below. It might be impressive, but not as risky. So, but, you know, after 2 years, if I want to apply to CEIBS exam, I need to overcome the most important challenges, flying solo. So, this is, you know, this is the big day. The big day is not when you pass the exam or you go to the exam. This is just a piece of paper. The big day is when you are alone in the sky. You need to apply what you have learned. You need to control your stress. You know, if you panic, nobody can save you. That is for real. So the day of this day was a really sunny day. No cloudy, not a lot of clouds. No, everything was perfect. The only storm was inside. So I remember takeoff, some turbulence, then air stabilize. Oh, then the magic. Well, at that time, I feel the land, the view from above, all the magic, the light. I felt alive. I felt like very proud of myself. It was a sense where I almost cried. I was trembled, And I remember when I arrived with that land, finally, my professor gave me a big hug, and all the classmates coming, and we was enjoy with some drinks and snacks. Is the way it happens, the big day for us. So wow, from the moment I start this journey, learning, to the moment I was able to be alone, the sky, independent, so many things happen. This new world have changed to me, completely changed. I'm not here to promote you go to a flying school, because okay, I don't have any shares in a flying school, but this is a great experience. But you don't need to fly to discover, to exploring other worlds. There are many things that challenge us this way. 1 year ago, just 1 year ago, I started learning the saxophone. Okay, I'm not a music person. These guys can like being singing all the time. I don't have a good skill for the music. I'm not a good singer, even a worse dancer. And my sense of rhythm is much like my sense of direction. But I like the saxophone. I found it sound unique, and I love it. So I asked one of my good friends in Spain to come with me to a shop, a music shop, and I buy an affordable saxophone. So I find a teacher in China, in Beijing, who take beginners, which is difficult, and we start from scratch. No, this is in the beginning we hardly understand each other. But day after day I was improving, and was when I learn a new song, I play a new song, they transport me far. And you know, after that, when I was not playing, I'm singing all the time. So this is very learning. This is a very also great experience. From that I get, for instance, I'm more aware of the need of practicing to have a good execution. So finally, I say, exploring other worlds is about learning about ourselves. It's having an honest and sincere dialogue. It's identify our limitation, our handicaps, and put ways to overcome them. It's about to having some discomfort, but also there are new pleasure coming with it, new discovery, and this world are there for all of us. It is not about having the skills, that all of us have some. It's about dreaming. As you know, as a very famous poet called Calderón de la Barca said, life is a dream. Thank you.